So, one of the things I love to do with my guests, and you're more than a guest, you're a dear friend and colleague, but I'm going to ask you this question.
Oh man, another thing you haven't prepared me
Oh,
for.
it's good.
Okay.
You're ready.
All right.
It'll come out easily. If there were the one thing that you've learned about leadership that you would convey to the audience, what would it be that you would say, this is a must that is top of mind for me?
I don't know if this will surprise you or not, but the first thing that comes to mind when you ask that to me, and I think the one thing that I've done the best over my 6 years of knowing you and falling into your programs is you have to have some grace, is what I would call it. Is that people are showing up in a way that, and you might not know what's going on behind the scenes. So like, to me, I talk about this with my kids all the time. It's like, why are we assuming people are just bad? Yeah. Like, you have
Negative intent.
absolutely no idea why that person is acting that way in that particular moment. And maybe this is the confusion sometimes, or like this will solve some of the confusion that we have sometimes when we're like, man, I thought that guy was a really good guy, but now he's this way. And I'm like, well, why are now we assuming that he's gone away from good and now is bad? So it gets me in trouble sometimes too, right? In this new way of thinking. But if you're like out there leading a big company, like lead with some grace. Like, people are going to mess up. People have a bunch of stuff going on in their lives. Just ask questions before you judge. And then you'll come to the truth. And you'll be like, oh, that guy's acting that way because he just got a divorce. Or his wife, he just found out his wife had cancer. And she's got cancer and she's had it for the last 3 months. And he don't want to talk about it with anybody. No wonder he's a little on edge. Yeah. Why are we just assuming people are not hitting their numbers because they're bad? Why don't we ask more questions? But when you have that grace and you have that empathy and you stay curious, people are like, wow, I've never had an owner of the company ask me about my wife that has cancer. I really appreciate that, man. And I'm like, yeah, I noticed like you were hitting your numbers, but now you're not. What's up, man? Yeah. But again, you could go down a rabbit hole here because if we didn't put it on the table, if we weren't in an area where we were accelerating trust, we probably wouldn't be able to have that. But I would say I used to just judge. Yeah. But I think I have more grace than I ever have, and I find myself asking others around me like, why that? Can you just have a little or ask a question before you judge? And so I just think I would say that to leaders listening, and I think that lead with some grace.
That's powerful. I mean, there's not a person here who would disagree with this. I'm glad that people cannot judge my entire life based on my worst moment.
Well, yeah, exactly right.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people do, though.
Yeah.
You know, like I really do. I really feel a lot of people do. But I think quality leaders of the future, lead with grace.
You bet.